black people. It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving me. Like the king, we make it plain and simple. Bringing knowledge and fire at reality simple. Reality simple. My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving me. Like the king, we make it plain and simple. Bringing knowledge and fire at reality simple.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I am the gatekeeper or the host of this particular program, known here on the World Wide Web, or now we call it the Internet. I am known as the mighty Angel Snub Nub 7. I am your brother and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. This is the first video, and of course, this is the month of April. This is the first video from this ministry officially for this year. So if you've seen any activity from an account that's supposed to be me, then that account is a troll account. But there are so many silly people. I have been here on this media for many years now, at least since 2007, and people know how I roll. I do not need troll accounts. I do not need to be faceless. I challenge those who challenge this ministry. I challenge the wisdom in a civil manner, in a respectful manner, to all those who are out there. I don't need a faceless account. I don't need to make troll accounts to mess with anybody. I challenge you right out the box. It is you who are a coward. It is you who are afraid to challenge and deal with this wisdom that is needed this day. The wisest thing a person can do is keep my name out of your mouth. The best thing a person with wisdom can do is just remain silent when real power, when real wisdom steps to the plate. When real knowledge and understanding, those who have accepted their reality, step up to the batter's box and get ready to get into the game. You need to sit down. But of course, YouTube and so much of this social media is filled with those who are seeking celebrity, those who think they know something, and those who are just ignorant and wanting to find somebody to support their own ignorance. The purpose of this ministry is not to go back and forth with childlike mentality. I don't have time for that. In fact, that is the reason why I have not made videos in a long time, because frankly, it came to the point, being a busier person, and I also wondered, is talking to these people who claim to be awakened, talking to these people who are deaf, dumb, and blind, is it better just to sit back and allow them to destroy themselves and become silent and do what is in the best interest of myself and my family? Those of my family who listen, because all those, even my family under the sound of my voice, the words tend to fall on deaf ears because they are loyal to some religion. They are loyal to beer. They are loyal to vodka. They are loyal to heroin. They are loyal to crack. They are loyal to the vices of this world that we should want to be destroyed, that we should no longer want to exist. It makes no sense that we only want a change of color. We want the ways of this wicked world, this wicked so-called civilization that is far from being civilized, just to change the color and continue the same thing that the oppressor done on this planet. So for all you silly people, those of you who show your face or who have shown your face in the past, whenever you want to step up to this plate, please do so. We can do it in a civil, respectful manner, and you will fall like you know you shall fall. I don't need a troll account to deal with you. I deal with you face to face. So, my intent was not to make any more videos. For real. But also at the same time, I was taught by those who awakened my mind truly. What do you mean if your mind is awakened? When your mind is awakened, that means at one time your body was in a dead state. But when an alarm clock wakens you or the sun causes something in your body to respond, the body that once was laying in a dead-like condition, it raises up and it begins to become active. How can you call yourself, I'm black conscious? How can you call yourself, I'm an awakened black man? When you're still laying on your back, you have no activity. You're not moving. You're not doing anything. You're not showing and proving yourself that you have become an awakened person. Thus, you are still, after all these years after Marcus Garvey, after all these years after Harriet Tubman, after all these years with some of the greatest teachers and leaders, the black man and woman, the so-called Negro in America, you continue to be in a slave-like condition. You have failed your teachers. And you have failed your teachers because you have failed to evolve what they taught you. And that is to simply accept the reality of the situation that we have been placed in, instead of trying to go back to when they were living. Dead people cannot help you. The only one that can help you is yourself. As long as you live, once you pass this life, you are through. So my choice or my decision was to stop talking. And I'm very sure many people would like for Angel Snup Nup 7 to stop talking, so there would be nothing out here to compare their weak wisdom to. But at the same time, I began to think of myself. I was taught that the duty of a civilized man or a civilized person is to bring civilization to the uncivilized, and there's no doubt, even those of you who are black conscious, you are still in an uncivilized condition. Your mind is still barbaric. And if someone does you a favor, it would seem as though you would return that favor to someone else. So if somebody came to me, or somebody caused a situation that truly awakened my mind and made me to see what needs to be seen, what if they gave up? Then there would be no Reality's temple. What if they gave up? Then I could not say the things that I say. I would not have an involved mind. So I joined the ranks of the warners. Whether you like me or not, you don't have to like the person that warned you. The warner's job, the person job that brings the message, the warner, is not to convince you of anything, simply to warn you. If you are getting ready to cross the street and somebody tells you to watch out for that car, it is not up to them to convince you to look out for that car. Just simply warn you. If you do not heed the warning and get hit by the car, then the warner has done his or her job. I am just a warner. I am not here to convince you of anything. If you get hit by the car, well, if you don't get hit by the car, I would prefer that you don't injure yourself. But of course, there are so many idiots. I'm not going to listen. If I am a Caucasian pink person, I'm not going to listen to this black man because he's telling me to watch out for the car because I don't like black folks. Well, enjoy your injuries, fool, as you lay in the hospital. You can't say that you did not know. There are so many out here who would like for Angel Snub Nub 7 to go away. So I hate to tell you, although I might not be here like I used to, this ministry is not going anywhere. The only thing that can help the black man and woman in this country change your condition almost overnight is to simply accept your reality. Accepting your reality will change your condition. Not Kemet, not the church, not this Moorish stuff, not this Hebrew Israelite stuff. None of these things that y'all talk about, African spirituality, gods and goddesses, all these other fictional, delusional nonsense, that's what it is. Challenge me. I will show you the error in your ways. This ministry since 2007 has been challenged by almost every wisdom on this internet. And every wisdom that has challenged this ministry, it has failed. Well, if you are so bad, why aren't you having a following? Where are the people to follow? It's not about following anybody. It's up to you. I'm not here to convince you of anything. If you want to change your condition and we have the appropriate tools, then let's do it. If you don't, if you want to continue to stay here and you see ain't nothing happening, that's your business. I am not a teacher. Many of y'all are looking for these great teachers. I am just one who suggests things to you. I just suggest. You've had many teachers. You had many leaders. I am here just to suggest things that you already know, but you reject. And you reject these things. You refuse to accept your reality because you have a deep love for your enemy, this wicked world. You live in the past. And some of y'all are worshipers of dead people. If you're not dead, then you don't want to have nothing to do with a living person. Now, in the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always. Welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I am the gatekeeper or the host of this particular program, known here on the internet as the mighty Angel Snub Nub 7. I am your brother and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. In religious teachings, it is often said that 144,000 souls will be saved from the grip of this character or this being called the devil. Such a minute, microscopic, such a small number compared to the billions of people on this planet. But it gives us an idea of how so many love this being called the devil. According to these same religious teachings, that the devil was once an angel. This God created the devil because the devil was an angel. However, this particular angel decided to rebel against his or her creator. I'm not going to be prejudiced. Devil can be male or female. And it says in these scriptures that this devil curled his tail or wrapped his tail, and anyway, and other angels followed behind the devil. In fact, this devil, when he or she decided to rebel against God, also became a god, because this power that this devil has rivals God to the point that God sees the devil as a challenge. That this devil has power over the other or the greatest creation of God, which is called man. So one would want to know, if devil is so bad, why would other angels follow devil? And if devil is so bad, why would billions follow devil and only 144,000 decide to reject the aura of devil or the influence of devil? Well, in this world, the reason why so many of you follow devil, I don't care what you say, I don't care how Christian you are or how religious you think that you are, many of you are following devil even under the guise of religious teachings, and you know better, because although you claim to worship this God, and this God is supposed to be the God of righteousness, there is something in this world that devil made that you love. And the reason why you love devil is because you have not really experienced God. You have not met no God. You do not know the life of heaven. You do not know nothing about a hereafter. The only life you know is of devil. So, it's the only life you know. And in your attempt to call yourself to be a good person, to be a righteous person, to be opposite of the world of devil, the only thing you want to do is create your own version of evil. There are many of you who are obsessed and calling yourself, you want to create a new African or black civilization. First of all, in order to create your black civilization, your African civilization, or bring it back to reality. First of all, you must be civil. You cannot have a civilization unless you first you become civil. And many of you, in fact, the majority of you, you are not civil, period. You are hate-filled. You are nasty. You are profane. You are vile. You are nothing but dark-skinned versions of devil. You are nothing but dark-skinned versions of the people who created this civilization, the wicked Caucasian people of the earth. This pink man. In order to create a new reality, in order to create a new condition of life, to bring into existence heaven or the hereafter, because we know exactly what hell is, we know exactly what devil is, the devil's world. We know what that is, so-called Western civilization, which has become and caused us to be in the condition that we're in, just like we have done to domesticated animals. Living the life of the cage is all they know. The only life you really know is living among a devilish people that give you a false idea of what righteousness is. So, since this is the only world that we know of, in order to create a new civilization, everything, all your actions, everything that we must do must be opposite of what this world has made for us, how we live in. It must be opposite. But there are many things in this world, since this is the only life we know, there are so many things in this devil world that we love. And we want to take evil, we want to take devil to the hereafter. We want to bring devil to heaven. And that's not going to happen. So, it should not be a shock to you or me that only 144,000 souls could be saved, because many of y'all love devil. So this is why the so-called Negro, this is why the so-called African American people, you can't let go of Caucasian people. You can't let go of this life. You can't even imagine living life without pink people. Pink people in control. Pink people around you. You love devil. It's not really your fault. It's just like if you abuse a dog. You kick that dog. You mistreat that dog. Kick it out of your house. And the dog, with love, will come back wagging its tail. And black folks have done that in this nation. The wicked Caucasian pink people have kicked you in your ass, spit on you, licked you, and you come back running, wagging your tail. And this is something that you're proud of. You're so proud to get close to your massa, no matter how evil your massa treats you. Don't worry, things gonna be better. Why you want things to be better with somebody that treats you evil like that? So our children see their elders, and they know in their hearts that you're a slave. This is why the children nowadays are upset with their elders, because they see a slave. But I want to say to our youth, before you come down on your elders like you do, one day you will be an elder. There are children younger than you are. So while you try to condemn your elders, telling your elders what they should, shouldn't, or did not do, when you become an elder, what will you tell those young children? That you're just as much of a slave as the elders that you yourself complained about. There are many of you. You want a brand new world. You want a brand new so-called black African civilization. But you want to be a crackhead. You do crackhead. I'm sorry. You do crack. You do drugs. You drink liquor. You smoke tobacco. You want to do the same thing that your master taught you. That type of ideology, drugs and liquor, have always been used to make a people docile so they don't seek heaven. Again, no shock that only 144,000 souls could be saved, because you love this world. It's the only world that you know of. You can't even imagine a heaven. You can't even imagine a hereafter. Another word for spirit, another word for liquor, alcohol, is spirits. And when the so-called Negro, the African American, talk about I'm spiritual, that's the only spirit that you know about, is Hennessy, wine, beer, the liquor of this world, spirits. And you are a worshiper of the dead. The dead that's where ritual come from. Spiritual, ritual, or the worship of the dead. You the worship of dead people. And all the people that y'all admire, most of them are dead. Jesus is dead. Elijah Muhammad is dead. Marcus Garvey is dead. All these dead people. And when the people were living, you gave them hell. You did not give a damn about them. Because in reality, the life of devil is all that you know about. So to make yourself feel better, one of these dead people gonna come and save you. You gotta be saved by somebody, because in reality, you love this world. You love the liquor. You love the alcohol. You love the whoredom. You love the filth. In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I am the host of this particular program, known here on the internet, of course, which is around the world. I am known as the mighty Angel Snub Number 7. I am your brother, and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. I often wonder, and you should wonder too, because after 400 years as a people living in America, I wonder, how can a people who origin in this nation from a slave-like condition, who suffered the worst atrocity ever in human history, I don't care whether you like it or not, for the longest time, and continue to suffer, because we are lost, deaf, dumb, and blind, have no idea what we are to become, still in a slave-like condition, still dependent on those who placed us in a slave-like condition. Some of us have just grown content in being, although we know that we are nothing but sophisticated, modernized slaves. As long as we have some money, as long as we are getting paid, we don't care. Well, how can a people like this, how can we become so materialistic nowadays? Well, of course, living among a materialistic people, and your example of manhood and your example of womanhood, your example of success in life is your massa, and your massa is materialistic, so your idea of success is materialism. That's why every time somebody wants to challenge me on an issue, they want to tell me how poor I am or whatever, because their idea of success is materialism. How many houses you own, how many cars you drive, how much money you got, do you have a reality show? That's success in this world. Success is material. I don't care how dumb you are, how foolish, how ignorant, how evil, whatever negative thing that you are, it can be justified simply because you found a way to attain material things. Even a drug dealer, even those who obtain their wealth by questionable means, really it is overlooked because I'm still successful. I have houses, I have cars, I have a reality show, I have women that do my bidding, I have men that do my bidding. How can we as a people now become so materialistic, following behind our former slave master and their children who were materialistic? I was listening to an excerpt from the actor Denzel Washington. He was giving some type of, I believe, commencement speech at a university. And Denzel Washington, brother Denzel, was telling the graduates at this university about materialism. And he was telling them about your success. And of course, as you graduate, you'll get a job and you'll make certain amount of money, or you'll go on to do certain things, and you'll be able to obtain all these material things. But Denzel was right when he told the students, these graduates, that you cannot take these material things with you to the hereafter. You cannot take them to the grave. He told them that the Egyptians tried, but they failed. They could not take material things to the other side of life if there is a life after death. Denzel was 1,000% correct in what he was telling these graduates of this university. However, if you continue to look at the actions of Brother Denzel, you don't see Brother Denzel no time soon is relinquishing himself off the material things that by earning millions and millions of dollars, you don't see him giving his material things away, because he still wants to live a certain lifestyle which requires a certain amount of material things material wealth. But yet and still, Denzel knows that he cannot take this with him. So what type of example is this for the students? Because they will see the same thing. Why are you telling me that material things aren't worth that much? And we know that in this country, in this society, in this world, material things, the gaining of material things dictate or equate success. If you do not have these material things, then you are not successful. Materialism justifies everything. So no matter what you do, you can be a murderer. Just recently, a millionaire was found not guilty, or he was given a slap on the wrist for molesting his niece, which was a child, because of he has the ability to have material things, money. So you can be a child molester, but as long as you have money, and as long as you're not Michael Jackson, you can get away with it. Materialism justifies evil. Materialism can justify anything you do of wickedness. However, again, the United States of America, how was this nation born? This nation was born on theft. It was born on slavery, rape, murder, all kinds of evil that you could think of. But we are proud to be Americans because America is filled and has gained so much materialism. You don't care how they got it, how many Native Americans died, how many black people died, how many poor whites died, but we are proud of the nation because of the materialism that it gained, although the materialism was gained by wicked means. So, you are a poor person. And they continue to have these different names for poor people with certain behaviors. They call the behavior ratchet. Ratchet ill behaviors. Because they are poor people. However, if you have money, if you have material things, if you have influence, you can act ratchet, you can do whatever you want to, and nobody gonna get on your case because you are successful. Ratchet as any poor person, but because you have money, because you have material things, that equates success. So you are exempt because you're not poor, although your behavior is just as ratchet as anybody else who is poor behavior. I am so happy that I have never been material. I only, just like nature, animals only take what they need. That's all I need. I just want a decent house, a decent car, just a decent way of life. I don't need mansions. I don't need pools. I don't need all this stuff that these people accumulate that they cannot take with them to the grave. I am so happy that I have never been a materialistic type person. A car does not care for you. Your houses do not give a damn about you. Your gold, your silver, all these different things of material wealth that you accumulate can't do nothing for you. However, I am happy, and I do get happy when I see people happy with a certain amount of material wealth so they don't suffer. I love to see a married couple walk down the street and they are happy. children playing, they don't have to worry about a child molester in the street. I like to watch a deer in the forest, being able to do what deers do. I like to see happiness and peace in the earth. And if materialism cannot bring me peace, then I don't want it. If materialism cannot bring true happiness, but a bunch of fake friends, I don't want it. If materialism cannot help me after I pass this life, why am I spending so much time obsessed with chasing it? I don't want it. And at one time, the former slave in America, our people were not materialistic. But now, we've been around a materialistic people and earthly people who embrace themselves with physical things, who have no idea of what y'all call spirituality, and you have lost your spirituality because you sold your soul to the devil for a few pieces of silver. Thus, you will never, in religious terms, you will never see heaven, because heaven is spiritual, and I'm using religious ideology. That's why you look up. Material things are physical. They are of the flesh. And you cannot grow, and you cannot go into heaven in the flesh. You must become spiritual. The flesh must release the soul so that it can rise. Your soul cannot rise holding on to those weights that you put so much value on. Your house and your car. The materialism of this world. And people look at you strange when you don't care nothing about houses and cars and so-called success. They look at you like you have a problem. And the problem is, I want real heaven on earth. I want to go to the hereafter. This materialistic, physical, wicked world is destroyed. I want to be truly happy. And black folks in America, after 400 years of hell, you deserve a real heaven. And your heaven is not based in materialism. If you use your success to really build a heaven on earth, you would be living and experiencing heaven right now as I speak, and not waiting on some dead person to come save you. Jot down your comments. Let's talk about it. This is your brother Taalik Ibn'rad. This was in the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Realist Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the host of this particular program, known here on the internet as the mighty, mighty, mighty Angel Snup Nup 7. I am your brother, and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. I want to say this to us because I am guilty. In fact, so many of us are guilty of this particular action, this particular idea. Many of us, we have a habit of judging people. and judging people in and of itself, that's something that we do every day. To judge someone or to view someone as something, that's not the problem. The problem is when we begin to step over lines and we judge people unjustly and we judge them harshly. We have a habit of doing these things, and we fill ourselves up with this self-righteous nature. They should be more like me. They don't have proper decision-making skills. However, before we judge unjustly, and we do so harshly, then perhaps for a few moments we should imagine ourselves in their shoes. So the question arises, if there are so many so-called good people on this planet, and the good people, so-called good people, the so-called righteous people, if they outnumber the wicked, the bad folks, how can evil exist? And I would tell you, I witnessed a person just recently, within the last few months. I witnessed a person being abused. I witnessed a person being done wrong. I witnessed a person being treated unjust. And I knew this, but I did nothing. I remained silent. In fact, like so many of us, we support the wrongdoer. I'm going to say it again, because I don't think that you heard me. We support the wrongdoer, but yet we believe we are righteous. We believe that we are good. But every day, the so-called good people, the righteous people, we support evil. We support the wicked every day. We support wrong. Deep down inside, I knew what I was observing was wrong. It was unjust. It was not right. The problem is that the abuser, the evildoer, the one who is practicing this wrong, we love them. We love them, or we respect them, or we idolize them, but they are a wrongdoer. And it is that love. It could be your mother, it could be your father, sister, the president, the United States of America. Because you love them, you will sit back, and when they say something wrong, when they do something wrong, you will remain silent. In fact, we will support evil. And are you shocked? Does it surprise you that evil seems to go on and on and on? When is evil going to stop? It's not going to stop because good people are supporting the wicked. So how can it stop when the good people, the righteous people, are supposed to put an end to wickedness? We love the abuser. So even though deep down inside, and I knew within myself that what I was viewing was wrong, it was very difficult because I had love or respect for the abuser. It was difficult for me to act on stopping or interfering with an action that I knew was not just. This is the reason, the primary reason of why black people in America, black folks around the earth, people in general, you cannot stop evil. You don't want to stop evil because you love the abuser. You love the evildoer. The reason why black folks cannot stand up against pink people, pink America, is because we love Caucasian people. No matter what they do, we love them. They can't do no wrong. And we support them in their evil. So we join their army to help them steal from other people. We join them in their evil. This is the problem that we have. Regardless to where you are in life. But see, if you truly are righteous, if you really have a conscious nature, it bothers you when you see wrong. It bothers you when you see evil. So, it did not happen immediately, but I began to take action against the evildoer because my conscience began to bother me. And because of my guilt in the beginning, I had to put my money where my mouth is and help the victim because I should have been there to help the victim in the very beginning, but I did not because of my love for the abuser. And since I truly feel this wrong, what was done was wrong, then I spend my money and my time and show the victim of my own wrong that I should have did something when I saw evil being perpetrated. Unfortunately, in our situation with race, so-called race relations in America, when you have Caucasian people, pink people, they don't have a conscience. Because in their eyes, I ain't did nothing wrong. That was them. That was your parents. That was your nation. So they don't have a conscience because they don't feel that they were in the wrong. At the same time, before I close out this video, before y'all think harshly and judge people, walk in their shoes, because remember, you got Caucasian people or pink people, you are asking them to go against their ancestors. The people who are doing evil right now that they love. That could be their mother, their father, their cousins, uncles, who knows. It is difficult for Caucasian people to stand up against other white folks, if you want to call them white. I choose to say pink or Caucasian. White means pure, holy, righteous, and they even know they are not these things, and we do ourselves a disservice by calling a people who do not act pure, righteous, and holy white folks. But when it's all said and done, even for myself, something has got to give. Either you love evil or you love good. One or the other. You cannot continue to perpetrate a fraud, talking about how good you are, but at the same time, you support that evil by not challenging the evildoer. And you will not challenge the evildoer because it's your mother, because it's your wife, because it's your cousin, because it's the land that you love. You either going to stand for good or you're going to stand for evil. You're going to stand for what is right and just or that which is unrighteous and unjust. There is no gray area. Either you one or the other. There is no gray area. There is no in between. Martin Luther King Jr., which some of y'all claim that you respect, he said that evil exists because good people do nothing. I decided to do something. So now that the person that perpetrated this unjust act does not like me, so what? I made a new friend with the victim. I don't care what the perpetrator, I don't care what the abuser has. I'd rather have nothing with the victim than something with somebody who is wicked and evil and trifling. That's why many Caucasian people have a hard time making that decision because there is a privilege, there is an advantage of holding on to pink supremacy. There's an advantage to holding on and supporting their loved ones in evil. So in reality,